Exodia! Obliterate!
Hey, what is up guys, it's DragonxDuelist here, and today I am bringing you guys a deck profile. This is on Dueling Network, and I'm sure you guys have noticed that I only record on Devpro. Well, I only have recorded on Devpro so far. But I made this deck on Dueling Network because I wanted to get my rank up since I haven't been playing on it for a while. So I decided to make a Satellarknight deck, as you can see. But yeah, it's gone undefeated throughout the whole time that I've made this deck. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. So alright, let's start. We got 1 BLS, 2 Blue Mountain Butter Spy. This is very useful for when you summon any of your Satellarknights, because they are warriors, and once you summon a warrior, you're gonna get his effect off and he's special summoned. So that's an instant exceeds play. So yeah, he's very good. 2 Gorz the Emissary of Darkness. That's very useful, especially when you have a dead hand and your opponent is poking you for damage and you can't really do anything but summon a Gorz, use a Gorz token. 2 Kage to Kage, which is very useful if you want to go for an instant exceeds play with any of the level 4s in this deck. Yeah, it's very useful in any rank deck, any exceeds deck at all. So yeah. 2 Mystic Tomato. This is a searcher for your Summoner Monk. You want Summoner Monk on the field so you can special summon a Kage to Kage or anything like that, any of the Satellarknights, anything like that. So yeah, you definitely want Mystic Tomato to search out your Summoner Monk. And on to the Satellarknight portion of the deck, we have 3 Satellarknight Altairs. This is the main Satellarknight that you're going to be using all throughout this deck. He basically gets his effect by when you normal summon him, he immediately special summons any Satellarknight from the graveyard except himself. So he's really good if you have any of your Satellarknights in the graveyard, especially if you have Deneb or Vega. He's just really clutch in last minute plays, and he's a really good card. So next we have 3 Satellarknight Deneb. He is the main searcher of the deck if you want to search out your Satellarknights. Usually you'll use him first turn if you have him in your first hand, so he is very essential. Next we have 2 Satellarknight Sirius. Usually people don't run this guy, but I typically run him because he's very good at recycling all your Satellarknight cards. Like if you have all your Altairs in the graveyard, you're gonna summon him and you can put all those Altairs back into your deck and 2 more of your Satellarknights. So that's really good, and you can even draw a card after it. So yeah, it becomes really good if you want to reuse all of your Satellarknights that's in your graveyard. So yeah, that's why I run him at 2. 3 Satellarknight Vegas. I don't understand why people run him at 1. He's very essential to this deck, because if you have a Altair in your hand and a Deneb in your graveyard, you want to have Vega just so you can summon him, special summon your Altair, and special summon your Deneb from the graveyard. So that way you can add another Altair to your hand or another Vega, and you'll be set up for the next play, and that's an instant exceeds play. So yeah, that's why I run him at 3. I don't understand why people run him at 2 or 1 for that matter. He's really good. Okay, next we have Summoner Monk. 2 Summoner Monk. He's very essential if you want to get out any of your Tellarknights or your Kage Kage for that matter. He's basically just a searcher for any of your Tellarknights. He's really easy. It's really easy to get his effect off. And yeah, that's basically why you want to run Summoner Monk. I don't have Honest in his deck because I don't know, I just felt like I didn't need him in here, because usually if I have out a Tellarknight, I'll immediately go for any of my Xyz, and that'll pretty much win me the game from there. Spells, we have 1 Foolish Burial. That's obviously to get one of your Tellarknights in the graveyard so you can special summon it back with Altair. You got 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, 2 Pot of Duality, 1 Raigeki, the fresh off the ban list card that everyone is using now. It's really good. Honestly, in my opinion, it's better than Dark Hole. I'll actually do a video on that, why Raigeki is better than Dark Hole. Next we have Reinforcement and Army, 2 of them. I thought 3 would be too much and I needed a little more space, so I just put 2. But this searches out pretty much all your deck except for Mrs. Tomato, Kage Kage, and your boss monsters. So pretty much all of your deck except for those. So yeah, that is very essential. Soul Charge, just in case all your monsters are pretty much in the grave, you want to activate Soul Charge, give them so many life points, special summon them, and their effects go off. Especially all of the Tellarknights, their effects still go off. So yeah, that's very useful. Traps, we got Bottomless Trap Hole, you got Compulsory, 2 Phoenix Chain, 1 Solemn Warning, 2 Stellar Nova Alpha. This card is very essential if you want to stop people from negating your summons, like with a Solemn Warning or a Bottomless. You can just go ahead and tribute one of your Tellarknights and then it's negated, and you also get to draw 1 card. 2, and finally 2 Satellarknight Waves. This card is really good and really essential to the deck because it lets you special summon a Tellarknight during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase. So if you want to stay in the game, if you have low life points, you can special summon a Tellarknight while your opponent is attacking in defense position to save you from that game-winning hit. So yeah, that is very essential. Side deck, we have Effect Veiler, 2 Fire Hand, 2 Fossil Dyna, 2 Ice Hand, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Prohibition, 2 Breakthrough Skill, and 2 Dimensional Prism. Most of this is for any of the metagame decks. Any metagame deck. So, Shadows, Cliff Forts. Actually, Fairy Wind wouldn't be a bad idea to put in this extra deck. Well, side deck. You can change it out for the Fossil Dynas or any of the cards for that matter, because Fairy Wind is very useful against Cliff Forts. Very useful in general. So yeah. Now for the extra deck, we have 1 Blade Armor Ninja, 1 Anti-Luminescent Knight, 1 Castell. We all know why Castell is in here. 1 Daigusto Emerald to reuse any card in your graveyard. 1 Dark Rebellion Exceeds Dragon. This comes very useful if your opponent has a high attack point monster. You can just half its attack points and you gain that much. 1 Evilsworn Exciton Knight, 1 Gaga Cowboy, 1 Heroic Champion Excalibur. I go into him a lot, especially if I wanted to finish them. If they have almost half their life points, I just summon him and basically finish them off. 1 101, 1 104 Masquerade, 1 Heartland Draco. This is 1 mini games. 1 number 39 Utopia, 1 Tellarknight Del Toros, or Delteros. He's really useful, especially when your opponent has many face downs in the back row. You want to go ahead and pop those, and yeah, he's very useful, very useful. And 2, Stellarknight Traverse. He is the all-star of the extra deck, simply because as soon as you summon him, all cards on the field go back to the hand. So he makes game-winning plays. And not only that, but you can detach a material from him and you can make your opponent discard one random card from their hand. So that's very useful in my opinion. And it really wins you games. And it has won me many games. He's basically the savior of the deck. Basically just the all-star of the extra deck. So let me know what you guys thought of this deck in the comments down below. Again, it is undefeated, so please be sure to leave some positive feedback. So yeah, subscribe to my channel and I will see you guys later. Peace.